Hey everyone,
I'm Jill.
and I'm Ryno.
And we love bourbon.
In addition to drinking it, we also wanted to learn about it and share that info with you.
So come join us in
The Bourbon Study.
Welcome back.
To the Bourbon Study. I feel like we're about to start a song like a...
The Sharks and the Jets. It's appropriate for this drink. So if everybody's starting to get the winter doldrums wherever you live, if you live in Florida, we're getting crazy rain here, so it's the same thing as fake snow. Anyway, it's time for summer.
Mm-hmm.
What better way to summer than to splash in the pool?
Summer, I barely know her. I hate myself. Pool, I barely know her.
There's a lot of blue drinks, right? We've seen millions of blue drinks out there. Blue Hawaiians, Blue Lagoons, blue
Eiffel
suede
65,
shoes,
yes.
Eiffel 65. All of these blue drinks, but most of them don't have any bourbon.
Yeah, that's true. There are usually like
A lot of
rums,
yeah, a lot
like
of,
tequila, I feel like sometimes,
drinks
vodka,
are
yeah.
oftentimes these crazy colors. So I thought, why not make a blue bourbon drink? Celebrate summer, take a dip in the deep end of the pool, and of course, sharks.
Sharks. Okay.
Because in our pool, there is sharks, so you should have a fear of it.
So the neighborhood kids, watch out. All right.
So I assembled this a little bit in the style of a tiki drink because we're going with that summertime feel. The like get out on the porch, hang out in the yard, get the sun, get some vitamin D that everybody's been missing out on.
Yeah,
so
mama.
I did include some Velvet Flurnum, which is a common tiki drink mixer. It's just like it's a liqueur that is a product of Barbados.
I'd like to smell it.
It's in the similar style of Saint Germain and the Italicus, where it's just kind of like native herbs and...
I thought it was
Botanicals.
almonds, so here we are.
No, that's the Orgeat or Jat or whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Velvet Flurnum is not, it's a botanical. It's not it's not a nut.
That makes sense. The only nut here is me. You're welcome. These are the jokes you get at the pool.
And then, of course, with more summertime flavors, I have some lychee
I do like
liquor.
the lychee.
This stuff is delicious. The two things we're using to make it blue are we're going to amp up the blue color with this little bit
curacao.
of curacao. And we're also going to be using the Blur, which is it comes in a bottle like a bitters, but it's the pea flower, the butterfly PT.
What's the point of that?
Which is naturally blue. And it has that little
Is
bit
it just
of
for
like,
dyeing? For food color or dyeing?
mostly, but it also has some floral notes that will work well with the velvet.
Where would you find this?
This was on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
But also I think see, it's just a little bit
Yeah.
little fruity.
I see it. Yeah, I smell
A little
it.
bit flowery, and that it's 100% natural flower extract.
That's good for anybody. I know
I
some
think
people who
they
have
sell it
the
at like
food
Total
dye.
Wine in the bitters area
Oh, okay.
as well. So if you want something natural to dye things, we are going to be using this as well, which is clearly not
You mean that color blue doesn't exist
not
in
natural.
nature?
But if you want to do 100% just natural, you can use just the Blur pea flower.
Blue.
And then finally, we're going to use some fresh lime and also the fee foam.
Like,
So you know that I'm not a fan of egg whites in drinks. You are a fan of egg. I'm a fan of.
when made correctly,
This is
yes.
the thing. I'm a fan of it if it's at a bar.
Yeah.
and I've paid someone to know what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of dropping a raw and get my own drink.
I'm not a fan of attempting to do my own egg stunts.
Yes.
So I bought this online from a place called Kegworks, but there's a few retailers that sell it. And the Fee Brothers, they make a lot of the bitters. So they make like the black walnut bitters, the rhubarb.
Yeah.
And this is called Fee Foam. It's a non-egg alternative for shaken drinks so that we can get that little foamy top.
Yeah, because the water's splashing.
Because it's splashy, it's bubbly, but we don't have to use egg.
Fee 5 foam, I think it's time to make this
I think
drink.
it is. Okay, so of course we're going to put 2 ounces of bourbon. Today I'm using the tin cup just because we had this lying around. And I thought, why not?
She's a big Kevin Costner fan. That's Kevin Costner in that golf movie, right?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty sure.
So 2 ounces of bourbon.
Perfect.
Anything that you'd use. As
Anything
a mixer.
goes.
Anything goes. Elijah Craig, Evan Williams, tin cup, whatever you have that isn't.
You mix in bourbons, yeah.
Yeah, anything that's in that mixing territory. Then I'm going to do a ½ ounce each of the Velvet Falernum, the lychee, and the blue stuff.
Okay. I can't. This whole time I thought Falernum was the almond syrup or something like that. What a loon.
Orgeat.
Orgeat. Orgeat. I think it is Orgeat, and we're just trying to say it. I can't never remember.
That was like a legit bartender that said it's Orgeat. She was like online.
Orgeat.
And that's how she pronounced it. So she might have been right, or we might be right, and who knows.
I think it's just going to be one of those words where everybody's always going to say it a different way.
That almond syrup you put in tiki drinks. Okay, so 2 ounces of bourbon and then a ½ ounce each of the Velvet Falernum, the Soho lychee, and the blue stuff. Then we're going to do
Blur.
about 4 or 5 drops of that.
That's just to pump up the blue, or
Just to pump up the blue and also to give it that little bit of floral flavor to coordinate with the Velvet Falernum.
Nice.
And then a little ½ ounce of simple syrup. A quarter of a lime.
a quarter of a lime. Get your citric acid in there. Fresh
Of course,
lime.
always fresh. And then, so the fee foam, you had to sort of cheat it a little bit. The instructions say 3 or 4 dashes. That doesn't do anything at all, so you have to do like 10. I'd say about a teaspoon.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
Is how much you have to put in there to actually make it like do the work.
The work. To get it, you lazy foamer.
To get your lazy foam foaming. And then, there's sharks in the pool.
It's like a... I feel like I needed a fake fin for this part.
This is like a balloon glass. I thought it had a nice swimming pool.
Yeah, it feels like, you're jumping in. You're diving in. It's got to have some depth.
Plus, I really like the look of like when you pour it over this glass. It's very Tomorrowland water feature.
Yeah. Well, we're not done yet.
Of course not. We had to put the sharks in the pool.
We should have dropped a little bit of red to the blood in the water.
Yeah. But I love this color. I don't want to like mess with the color too much.
No.
Then it would be purpley.
Yeah. Float!
Yours fell in.
Yeah. Well, he's swimming. He's living his best life. He's down there. I can see him.
Look at that color.
That's just cute. You can get him on like the side. Yeah, so when you hold the glass.
It's like going to SeaWorld.
Yeah.
I like the smells that you get so especially with this big open style vessel, I think that's where you really get those pea flower scents and the Velvet Falernum. It's refreshing.
I feel like this is a dangerous drink.
Very dangerous, but
It's very well balanced.
Yes.
You know what I like about it too? Even though sometimes I fear when curacao is in a drink because it can be very overpowering and get like too tart. But with the lime and the curacao and everything, it feels very mellow. Not mellow, level.
Yeah, it's much.
There's flavor.
It's better balanced because we're not relying on all of the blue color to come from the curacao.
I think that's the smart. Yeah.
Some of it is coming from the pea flower, so we're not having to lean so heavy into that syrupy, orangey, blue stuff.
Plus, I just like drinking it out of this massive glass
And it's just like
too.
a cool, I don't know if you can see, but it's like a turquoise color. I don't know how to.
No, yeah.
Instead of like a blue, like a true
Seafoam green.
It's like a sea. It's like an ocean of wonder in your glass.
I think this is a must try. You know who'd love this? I think my mother would actually love this drink.
I absolutely think Sandy would
Yeah,
love that.
this would be right up her alley. I think this is a good one for, again, like people. I feel like a lot of times bourbon can be very like.
You taste a drink and immediately you're like, this is a whiskey drink.
Yeah.
An old fashioned, a Manhattan, a sidecar. Those are very.
And bourbon is a liquor where you're like, you want to. I do agree. Like a lot of the times you think of it because it has such a process that goes into it that it's like spirit forward.
Because you want to highlight those things about it. But I think that especially in some of those lighter bourbons, tin cup, like the Evan Williams White, you get a lot more of the greenish notes to it.
I think Suntory might be good in this too. The Japanese Suntory, the Japanese whiskeys would be good in there because they were very like lemony,
French.
yeah, that sort of a thing. So I guess just like try your bourbons and what you've got. And also, you know what's fun is like make a drink with one type of bourbon and then make it again with a different type and see how it changes.
That's like the Sazerac when we made it with like regular bourbon and then made it with that barrel seagrass, and it was like a whole different ball of wax.
Well, there you go. You'll have to give this drink a try, and if you do, you'll have to let us know how it turned out. And we want to know what you've been drinking, so be sure to leave comments on this video. If you like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and of course, we always have our Patreon site, patreon.com/The Bourbon Study, and on there we do some exclusive tasting, some fun videos. I've got to get back to finishing the bourbon expedition. I've just been a little overwhelmed with a lot of work stuff lately. So, but there'll be plenty of fun content headed that way. And a lot of fun.
I'm fishing for sharks.
Just deep. You ever seen somebody put a whole fist in their mouth? Well, that's basically what's happening next to me.
See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Discovering voices, building worlds. The Ampliverse.